If you look at the New Testament, recently I went through the whole book of Matthew, and I documented all the interactions that Jesus had with people. And physical needs of people were right on the front of what Jesus wanted to do. As Jesus interacted with people, he had a love and a passion for their physical needs. And we have those same desires here.
When Jesus was on earth and he cared for poor people, he cared for orphans and widows and the sick. And it's just a matter of us to really look at his example and really following it, no matter what kind of contribution we might have.
We had some nurses in the Asian ministry at the church, and as we looked at opportunities for them to serve and use their gifts, some of them wanted to do medical missions overseas. We were targeting at that time our church, the Philippines, and that's a 22-hour plane ride. It was difficult for people, and some folks had a hard time getting the vacation time necessary to do the mission trips. And as we looked around, looked at some of the needs of even people in our own congregation, we realized that the mission field was right here.
There are some times when you're checking someone's blood pressure and it's sky high, and they seem a little edgy, and you start talking to them, and like they'll start sharing personal things, like they just got into a fight with someone and different things, and you know, you just kind of pause, you take a breath and ask, well, can I pray for you? And many times they'll say, sure.
We've started with these health fairs because we want to touch people's lives, but what we realize is a lot of people are never going to go to a city hospital. Many of them are undocumented. They're afraid of immigration. As you know, there's been a lot of changes in our country over the last several years after 9/11, and people aren't sure whether or not they're going to be stereotyped, whether they're going to be marked. And we find that we have an opportunity to touch people's lives physically that are never going to get those services.
One woman who was talking to me, and she had a very high blood sugar, and she kind of knew it. So she came to check, and she had just been discharged from the hospital, and she had a lot of health problems. And I asked her if she wanted me to pray with her, and I never did that before, but I just felt comfortable saying that to this woman, and she said yes.
Like Jesus, who walked the earth, as he walked the earth, his eyes were open, he saw the needs of people, and it was his great love for them that motivated him to touch their lives. As we sit here under these tents tonight in this park, we're just asking that God would give us his eyes, that we would see the needs of these people. He would give us the words to say, and more than that, that he would give us his eyes to see their hearts, that we could share the love of Christ. Our vision clearly is to establish a Christian health center that's what's called a FQHC, a federally qualified health center. If we can gain that status, the federal government will actually provide the insurance, which is the largest expense of running one of these ministries. It also gives us an opportunity to have young people from within the church and within the community who may have the abilities to become a medical professional but not the financial resources. They can go to medical school, and if they commit to come back and work with the poor, the federal government will help with their school loans and take care of helping them get through medical school. So we're really ideally looking to get that status. But as I continue to tell the staff, if 10 years from now we're setting up tents in the park and we're touching people's lives like we are tonight, we don't ever have to build a health center. And we really believe God's doing this thing. And again, we don't need to make anything happen here. We just need to share the love of Christ. And as he opens doors and as he provides the resources, it's just our job to be faithful.